Jose Ramirez has to be one of the more consistent and reliable hitters in all of baseball, and he simply does not get the respect that he deserves. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be hopping into Jose Ramirez's career up to this point and why I think he is just so underrated. And before we get started, if you guys do enjoy the content and you're a big baseball fan, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more baseball content here as we head into the off season. Now with that in mind, let's hop right into the video. Jose Ramirez made his debut back in 2013 as a 20-year-old. And in terms of the hype around him, there wasn't too much to speak of. He was never touted as a big prospect in Cleveland's system, and it was really just looked at as another big leaguer's debut. In that season, he didn't get the most playing time as he only played in 15 games and hit .333 with no home runs. And moving forward a couple seasons, it wasn't until 2016 until Ramirez made his mark. This was a season where he really flashed his power-speed combo that a lot of people didn't know he had. In this 2016 season, Ramirez played in 152 games where he hit .312 with 11 home runs, 76 driven in, 22 stolen bases, and an .825 OPS. And this was Ramirez's first full season in the big leagues, and he showed what he was capable of. So in 2017, this earned him another full-time gig. And he did not disappoint, as in 152 games he hit .318 with 29 home runs, 83 driven in, 17 stolen bases, and a .957 OPS. This was the season where Ramirez broke through and put his name out there. At the time, he was only 24 years of age, and it was clear he had a future in the big leagues. He finished third in the AL MVP voting, only behind Jose Altuve and Aaron Judge. Moving over to 2018, he had another monster year. He made his second All-Star team where he played in 157 games, hit .270 with 39 home runs, 105 driven in, 34 stolen bases, and a .939 OPS. And at this point in time, it was clear Ramirez was a superstar. He was one of the few big league players who had the talent to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases. In this 2018 season, Ramirez yet again finished third in the AL MVP voting behind Mookie Betts and Mike Trout. And for Ramirez, it's just so unfortunate that he had to play in the same league as Mike Trout and Mookie Betts this season, because 39 home runs and 34 stolen bases most of the time will get you an MVP award. And moving over to 2019, this was probably Ramirez's worst season since he broke out in 2016. He only played in 129 games where he hit .255 with 23 home runs, 83 RBIs, and 24 stolen bases. Now, if Ramirez had played a full season, he most likely would have had a 30-30 season, but injuries really ailed him all year long. Getting over to 2020, in the shortened season, Ramirez played in 58 games where he hit .292 with 17 home runs, 46 driven in, and 10 stolen bases to go along with a .993 OPS. And unfortunately for Ramirez, he finished second in the AL MVP voting behind Jose Abreu. If this 2020 season were a full 162 games, Ramirez likely would have had 40-plus home runs and 30-plus stolen bases. But Jose Abreu really did deserve the MVP this year. He showed up and had an absolutely insane year. Now getting over to 2021, Ramirez played in 152 games where he hit .266 with 36 bombs, 103 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, and an .893 OPS. And he ended up finishing sixth in the MVP voting. So that brings us to present day, where Ramirez has put up ridiculous numbers year in and year out and has never won an MVP. I'm not taking anything away from any players, but I think absolutely Jose Ramirez should have an MVP award to his resume. Going forward, Ramirez has plenty of time left. He just turned 29 this offseason. And one other notable thing I want to take a look at here is Ramirez's 162 game averages. They look a little like 27 home runs, 89 RBIs, 25 stolen bases, and an .855 OPS. And what makes these numbers even more impressive is that Ramirez really never produced until his fourth big league season. So Ramirez is clearly a superstar. Now let's get into why I think he is so underrated. One reason is because he plays in Cleveland. Cleveland is one of the smaller markets in all of baseball, as year in and year out they finish towards the bottom of the league in attendance. When you're not playing in a big market and there is not a ton of fans to see you play, you're not going to get the appreciation you deserve. Number two, Jose Ramirez is not the most marketable player in the world. He doesn't have the personality of players like Bryce Harper, Fernando Tatis, and Ronald Acuna Jr. And for Ramirez, these are the players that he is compared to. He's compared to the best players in baseball, and He seems to lose out because he is just not as exciting as them. Number 3, he is not the best defender in the world. And I know with this one, people are going to say, no, he's not underrated because he doesn't have a good glove, therefore he shouldn't be compared to the best. But this guy's offensive numbers more than make up for his average glove over there at third base. It's not like Ramirez is an awful defender, he's just not above average like some of his counterparts. So when putting all those factors together, you can really see why Jose Ramirez is simply one of the more underrated superstars in today's game. And it's really unfortunate because he is playing like a superstar. He has pretty much his whole career, and he really probably will never get the recognition he deserves. That's going to wrap today's video up. Let me know your thoughts on Ramirez down below. Lastly, I want to thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.